Guns, crime, mental health, these are just some of the topics Americans are concerned about in their communities. However, Americans aren't the only ones feeling the impact. So are their local law enforcement departments. I sat down with 3 top officers from different parts of the country to discuss navigating the current state of our nation and whether or not female officers have advantages over their male counterparts.
Multiple manhunts underway as the country reels from another spree of deadly mass shootings.
As Americans across the country take to the polls this primary season, one topic remains top of mind for many.
Chilling new details about the killing spree at Robb Elementary.
Child is advising he is in a room full of victims.
Our daughter was among the 19 students and 2 teachers that died as a result of gun violence. We stand for Lexi. And as her voice, we demand action.
Their cries echoed by thousands.
We want justice! We want it now!
I sat down with several women on the front lines of this crisis plaguing our nation, offering their unique perspectives on this current moment and the future of policing. Chief GINA HAWKINS of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Deputy Chief Shannon Trump of Noblesville, Indiana, and Lieutenant Jen Charleston of Springfield, Missouri. To the ladies of law enforcement all across our country, we thank you so much for joining us tonight to have this really important conversation. We've been hearing from many voters who are saying that they're concerned about crime being on the rise in their communities. Is this something that you hear echoed from the residents within your areas?
Absolutely. And as we should, as community members, that's a concern as far as safety. Unfortunately, it's not a quick fix because there's a lot of systems that are involved and frustration that happens when we're facing these issues.
We are unfortunately one of the communities that experienced a school shooting back in 2018.
Students running to safety as the nightmare unfolded.
Yes, active shooter, Noblesville West Middle School.
Every time an incident happens nationally, it hits really close to home for us and makes us work that much harder to get everybody at the table to figure out what we can do, from prevention to outreach to anything we can do afterwards.
Many people rely on the police really not just to serve and protect, but also to diagnose. There's been a lot of conversation about maybe, are the police the right people to call when there is a mental health crisis.
We can all agree that law enforcement should not be the first responder to a mental health issue. But what that has also done is brought the attention for law enforcement to not just think outside the box of resources that are in the community to bring to the table to address those issues. In my agency, I created a mental health liaison right now just to focus on the repeat calls that we get that are mental health related.
We shouldn't be the first responders, most certainly, but people are going to call and we're going to respond. That's what we do.
Because of all the recent mass shootings that we've seen from Uvalde to Buffalo, New York to Philadelphia, are your departments going through more initiatives, more training lately?
Every opportunity that we can train on being aware of issues or shootings that's happening nationwide, we take advantage of it. So all the unfortunate incidents are opportunities for us to review the limited information we have, but also rethink about what's going on.
There have been countless studies pointing toward the importance of police force being reflective of its community members, yet women only make up actually less than 13% of full-time officers in the United States and hold only 3% of command positions. In your experiences, what kind of impact does seeing a fellow female face have on a community?
I started with the City of Atlanta Police Department. So I, as a young officer, had a female chief and had female in command. I also was critiqued by male supervisors who directly told me, I don't think females should be officers. And we have shown over time that we are able to do a lot of things as men are able to do.
I did not have female role models when I came up on my career. I did not see a female chief. I never had a female mentor. And I think to get officers into this profession that are females, you have to see that. You can't trust an agency when you don't see people sitting in the leadership positions that can make the decisions that need to be made that are going to be reflective of you.
Do you think that it's possible to see an increase in the number of women who join law enforcement in our current climate? Is there something that needs to actively change for those numbers to go up?
I started with Springfield Police Department in 2000, and there was only 17 female officers, which was 6%. In 2020, we have had 40 officers that were sworn, so females that were sworn. It was great to see that increase to 12%. When I see another female officer who has gone through the ranks, it gives me that confidence and motivation that I can do that also.
Are there things that you feel women are able to do better, that there's some advantage to being a female in law enforcement?
Not only are women able to do things better, we've had to do things double than men just to have a conversation. We've had to, in these positions, go overboard and overachieve just to be recognized. If you don't believe me, check the resumes of most of the leadership of women and compare that to the other men. We get critiqued and criticized constantly.
I always prided myself on, I don't want to have to fight you. So I always got better at talking. And if I could leave that situation and I could get you to do what I wanted you to do just by talking to you, that was my goal. And that's something that we talk about, I think women excel at.
A Pew survey back in 2017 found that female officers, only 11% had actually fired their guns while on duty compared to 30% of men. Are women better at de-escalating?
I supervised 5 squads. Out of those 5 squads, the one squad that had 5 females, I had the least amount of use of force. And I really contributed to our excellent communication skills.
We're better collaborators. We have a little bit more emotional intelligence and awareness. We want to work as a team. You know, we want to figure out what the problem is and resolve the problem without our egos coming into play. We might think when we get into an encounter, how can we make sure we survive and everyone survives safely?
Officers, ladies, we thank you so much for your time and insight. Really appreciate the conversation and academic discussion.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.